Today I'm going to share with you one of my all-time favorite Canva hacks to use with your images to make your posts or your designs or your flyers, your templates, whatever you're creating to look super schmick and really interesting just by using a few clicks. Okay, so I'm going to give you 3 examples today. One is how I use them for my Instagram bio pictures. The second is how I often use it for social media posts, but you can use this absolutely anywhere. And thirdly is a little special hack for those of you who are looking for something more advanced on how I created this special mock-up image. So hi, if we haven't met before, my name is Jacqui and I am a graphic designer who is obsessed with helping small business owners create incredible graphics for their own businesses using programs and design tools just like Canva for everyday people. Because design can make the difference between our audience thinking, yes, I want to work with them and they don't really look like the real deal. So let's dive into today's tutorial. First up, I want to show you how I made my own Instagram bio picture. So if you look on Instagram here, you can see my bio picture here. It looks a little bit different, looks a bit fun. It's got some branding colors in there. All I've done to do this is a couple of little Canva hacks that I want to teach you right now. If you are brand new to Canva, this isn't the video for you. This is a slightly more advanced tutorial, but if you've been using Canva for a little while and want to start getting a little bit fancy with your designs, this is a tutorial for you. So you can see here, all I've got is a square graphic and I've got my circle inside this. So I'm going to just create this from scratch for you. I'll make this purple again because that's my brand color and I love it. And I'm going to insert a picture of myself. We'll use this one here. Okay, so firstly, I like to make this neat. The first thing I want you to do is crop this image down. You can either use these little rectangular handles here and pull it down, or if you want to do this a little bit quicker, hold down Shift on your keyboard and hold the circular handles and you can actually just crop by holding down Shift and you can do whatever you like here. It's much quicker and easier. I'm going to bring that like so. Now what I'm going to do is duplicate this image. So I'm going to press this duplicate button. So I have 2 of me. Next, I'm going to add this version of me into a circle. You can skip this step if you don't want to have yourself in a circle, but I think it looks really effective in a circle. So that's what I'm going to do for this graphic here. I'm going to go to frames, add in the circular frame just by inserting that into just by clicking to insert it into my design. I'm going to click my image here and drag it into this image. And I'm going to make this almost the size of the design. You can make this full screen, or for me, I like to have that little border around the outside. So you can see when I don't have my circle the full shape of the square, it actually leaves a little bit of a border here, which I quite like. So I'm going to leave that like so. Then I'm going to double click on my image. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit and drag this image at the corner here so that my head is coming out of the circle. I'm just going to center myself a little bit. For Instagram bio pics, I love to have your face visible, your eyes visible, so people can really connect with you because this image is really only shown quite small. So having a closer up image of you, I think works well. I'm going to press done. And now I'm going to get my second image, the other version I had over here, and bring this on top of my design. You see that it's trying to insert this image into my frame. I don't want that. So what I'm going to do instead is hold down Command on Mac or PC on a Apple. And I'm just going to drag that on top. I'm going to make this image large. And what I want to do is have it the exact same size and shape as my image underneath. So I'm going to click this transparency button while this image is selected and make it go down quite a lot so I can see the image behind, just so I can see what I'm aligning it to. Again, I'm still holding down Command on my keyboard to make sure that this doesn't fill into this image. I'm going to make this a bit smaller and try to overlay it so it's exactly the same. Sometimes you can get it a little bit different. You can see when I zoom in here that this version of me isn't quite the same. It's not lining up perfectly yet. So that's what I'm trying to do. That's why I've lowered the transparency so I can see exactly what I'm lining up with where. Sometimes you don't need this 100% perfect, but the closer you can get it, the better. Here we go. We're starting to get there. It'll look really crisp once you've got it perfect because it's not misaligned anymore. All right, I'm going to end it there because I think that's pretty close. Then what I'm going to do is bring my transparency all the way back up. I'm going to go to background remover. This is a pro feature, so if you don't have Canva Pro, you might have to use a third-party source or even some Canva apps to remove your background instead. But right now I'm going to press the background remover because I have Canva Pro. Canva Pro I highly recommend investing in if you are using Canva for your business because it's a business expense, like we can write it off on tax. I've got a link below for a 30-day free trial if you want to try Canva Pro out for free. So you'll see it's now removed my background. And so what I'm going to do now is start to crop my image again. So you can see here I've got this version of myself and this version of myself. And so what I'm going to do is grab this little rectangle handle at the bottom and crop it up. And so you can't see any of the image that goes outside the circle apart from my head here. So you can see what's happening here. And you can see I've now got this protruding photo effect where my head is popping out of the circle. If you want to, you can then add in another circle. I'm just going to press C on my keyboard and insert that in and make that a little bit larger and pop it to being behind my image. So I'm going to go to position and send this to the back. And I can just align that centered here. And you can see that it's added another little element to that design. It makes it feel more full and deep. All right, next up I'm going to show you how to do this social media post design. It uses this exact same technique, and I find this a great way. If you've got a part of a photo you don't want to just be like, I could have just totally cut out this background, but I really love these stairs in the background of this photo, so I love having all of the stairs, like some of the stairs in there as well. But it just looks a little bit, it just kind of flows in easier with the design when I've got half cut out and half not cut out. So the way that I've done that, you can kind of probably get a bit of a glimpse there, is there is two versions of me. One, I've inserted the picture of me like I did before. I just insert that picture. Then I inserted that picture again. I'll just do it for you now. So I've got this photo, happy with that. I'm going to duplicate this image, line it back up, press a background remover. I'm just going to crop this down so that I've got this one here, just crop this down so I can easily grab the picture behind. I grab that picture behind. I'm just going to crop it using this handle corner and bringing that in. I can go here, 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 here. I personally like doing it about here. And I've got the stair showing through, but me also cut out on top. And I think this gives us a really premium effect to your images. So try that one out as well. And lastly, I want to show you a slightly more advanced feature where I put a screenshot into a picture I have taken myself. So you can see here, if I ungroup this image, there are a few things happening here. I've got my finger by itself. I've got this image of myself here, and it's got nothing on the screen right now. And then I've inserted a screenshot that I took on my phone in here. So I'm going to make this from scratch for you now. All right, so say I wanted to do one with this on the phone. What I would then first do is, if you're doing a phone mock-up especially, I'm going to click on this image. I haven't inserted this image into a frame. I've literally just clicked it from my uploads and inserted it in. You don't need to insert directly into a frame. And then what I'm going to do is round the corners of this a little bit, because you can see my phone screen has rounded corners. I'm going to click on this rounding corner option, move the rounded corners up a little bit. I can refine this later, but I'm just going to guess it around there. I'm going to resize this image so it fits into my phone screen here, rotate it, make it a bit smaller and get it being as close as what I want it to be. I think I've rounded the corners a little bit too much, so I'm going to just unround those a smidgen. Perfect. And so if you just had an image of a phone that you were holding up and that was it, then that is done. You don't have to do anything else. But for me, I was pointing on top of the screen, so I need to do more. So the way that I can do more here is I'm going to duplicate this image. I'm going to press right click and press duplicate. I'm going to, now this is where it gets a little bit tricky. I'm just going to crop this down because I can, just to make it a little bit simpler. I've just got my finger sitting on top here. But I'm actually going to need to cut around my finger even more. So if I click on the background remover tool again, it's going to bring up some options for me on this. So if I zoom in around my finger, I'm actually going to click on this erase option and paint around where I don't want anything else to show up. So for me, it's a painting around my finger. So I'm just clicking and dragging my mouse around. It's a little bit tricky, but honestly, you don't need to have it perfect because people aren't looking this closely at your designs after you do it. And I'm going to show you how you can fix it up when you make a mistake like I've just done. So firstly, I don't love that. So I'm just going to press Command Z or Control Z or back just to undo that. If you want to, you can actually, instead of doing one long click, you might just let go of your click now, just so when you want to undo something, you don't undo everything you've done. So I'm going to click again, paint a little bit more, let go, click again, paint a little bit more, let go, and just keep on doing that all the way around. All right, that's looking pretty good. And say if you were to make a mistake here, you can actually hit the restore button and you can paint back what you need. And so you say if you need the brush to be smaller, you can change that by pressing the brush size. Make that a little bit smaller, and I can also zoom in again. And I might paint back a little bit of my finger that I accidentally painted away. All right, that's looking pretty good. So now I'm going to press this cross, and then you can see that my finger, now that I've cut that out, is sitting directly on top of the phone, looking like that it is a 3D kind of mock-up. So that's how you can do that kind of thing. Just so you know, as a little hack, I'm not going to go into this too deeply, but if I was holding my phone on an angle and needed the perspective to be shifted on my photo, I can actually click on the photo, then go over to apps here, type in perspective, image transform it. Image transform it is the app that I want to find. And you can choose image transform it or transform image. Upload your file, and then you can actually, I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and you can change the angle of your image by doing this. So if my phone was on a bit of an angle, I could change the perspective of it by doing that, and then I could then press add to design. And that's now on an angle for me. It would be much easier to load into my image. So I hope you found that tutorial so useful. And remember to use this on social media posts, on your Instagram bio, on flyers, on any graphic that you're creating that uses photos, particularly photos of people. This is such a great hack to do, or even animals. So enjoy that one. Let me know how you use it. Feel free to tag me White Deer GD. If you use it on Instagram, I would love to see what you create. And if you are looking for more help to create your designs in Canva, I'd love to invite you to my free masterclass called Design Tools to Grow Your Business to 100K. You'll learn the 3 biggest design mistakes I see DIYers making all of the time that are keeping them stuck under 100K, as well as the Canva templates you need to grow effortlessly, and time-saving hacks so that you can create pro-level graphics without the overwhelm in Canva. Because your graphics should be growing your business, not just filling up your feed and zapping your energy. So I want to teach you the exact Canva strategies that top entrepreneurs are using to grow their business, to attract their clients and build to 100K without wasting hours in Canva. So just head to whitedeer.com.au/design masterclass and you'll find all the details to sign up for free. I hope to see you there. Bye.